Hello, guys. This is Thomas from FINEIGHT, and it's time for yesterday's recap. So, on Thursday, the market was gapping down. So, naturally, I was primarily looking for short opportunities. But from the open, the market decided to go initially upwards. And so, the strong stocks that I picked for my watch list looked like a good idea initially. So the only long I took was in gold, Barrick Gold Corporation, and it was an opening range gap up with a possible continuation. So I went long over 24 with a stop loss uh, under 80, 2380. Uh, and that one failed immediately. However, I then started to look for short trades. Uh, Even though the S&P started rising, uh, I was counting on it on filling the gap and possibly moving lower. So the next trade I took was in SMAR, and it was a very nice technical break under 4740, under the lows here, and this one worked perfectly. uh, I did a little bit of mistake of getting too large of a stop loss, and also I didn't take the opportunity of a 448 break. I was entering way lower here. So in SMAR, I took some profit off just before the whole number. My original profit target was lower. I believe it was at 45.35. And so after taking some of my shares off, I then continued to uh, lower my stop loss to a positive side, and eventually I got out of the trade at, I believe, 47.20 ish. So just around 0.5% win. Could have been managed differently and better in retrospect, of course. So the next trade was in CLDR, and it was short under 11. Stock that was gapping down and then showed continuous weakness to the market. As you can see, the market moved up almost 2 points from the opening prices, and CLDR kept doing lower highs. So then all I needed was a push of the S&P to the downside, and it did. And I entered. Well, now the stop loss was logically over there, uh, above the VWAP and everything. And of course, the issue was the day's low, where I knew the market would struggle. So I was ready to take some off at around this area, but unfortunately, with the development of the prices, I was strongly convinced that it's gonna break the 80, and in the end, it didn't happen. So I didn't I didn't take anything off there. Now, coming very late into the session, I believe I then closed the trade at around at around this level when the S&P was failing lower, and CLDR didn't move very much. So it was already a little over an hour to the close, and seeing the price action and the tight range, I just didn't think it would be wise to hold onto it, because it wasn't reacting very much to the downside of the market, uh, and my profit target was somewhere around 1050, so that would be really a miracle to happen. So I jumped the boat at around break even with a very small profit, and just was done with the trade. Uh, the last trade of the day was in eBay. It was under 49.60, and this was a climactic play. eBay was gapping very much over the uh, previous price action, so it was really extended at that point. Uh, there also was an opportunity to go straight from the opening to the low side, which would have worked perfectly. But in these stocks, you never know. It can be either way. So I decided to stay on the sidelines from the open, and then later revisited eBay. And once it moved under the VWAP and showed a really nice breakdown pattern right there, I decided to go short, and it paid off. Now, again, there was a slight issue with the profit target because, uh, again, I played it on the safer side, and I placed my stop loss not here but over the VWAP. So I needed something like 48, uh, 80, 85, which was the day's low. But also there was a resistance at 49, 10-ish, and the whole number. So this whole area right there was going to be a problem. So I decided to take some off at 40, 49.13. It then dropped straight down to 48.90. My final target was 48.83, and it got as low as 87. And so I was a little bit bummed, and seeing as it would then consolidate, uh, I decided to let go of the remainder of my trade at 48.88, so just few cents above my original one. And at this point, it was really extended downwards, and I just my thought process was, am I really gonna risk a nice profit for 5 cents when this can jump all the way back to I don't know, 40, 49, 30, 49, 50? And eventually it did go to 83, so I would have gotten my profit target. But look then what happened. It got all the way up, uh, even beyond my entry point, then retested again the day's lows, and ended the day somewhere in the middle. So this is what can happen with the overly extended stocks that have been trending to one side for too long. The pressure is building. Then you see possibly a consolidation and a really fast pullback. So overall, I'm up about 1%. So another green day for me. So far, this week's been all green, so very happy for that. But Thursday's session was very tiring, so I was really looking forward to just switching off the charts and being done. And lucky for me, it was at a time when I was profitable. So thank you guys, and as always, I will see you with another recap of Friday.